had our fair share of pressures and challenges, so finding that inner strength is more important than ever.
Well, Royal Marine Commando Jason Fox wants to help us all overcome life's biggest hurdles by sharing what he has learned from life in the armed forces in his new book.
Well, before we talk to Foxy, let's see him in action, doing what he does best, putting the SAS Who Dares Wins recruits through their paces.
And Jason Fox, Foxy to his friends, is here now. I mean, I watch this and every time I sit there and go, why? Like, it would be my absolute worst nightmare. And I know everybody's on their own individual path here. But
there's a lot of it I'd like to do.
Is there?
You should come on.
A lot of it.
Do you know what it is? You lose me at the shouting bit straight away. As soon as someone shouts at me, I go, well, that's it then.
I agree with you, though. I sometimes wonder why people, like, volunteer to come
Well,
on.
then if you think like that, what are they doing?
No, they're on a journey, aren't they? It's all about self-discovery.
Yeah.
And I think somehow we help them find their way through the rest of their life, hopefully.
And it does work, actually.
Yeah, there's like a process in place, and it does, you know, as long as you don't break the process, which we don't do, it does seem to work, you know. People, no matter when they leave, they all have a journey and they all get something from it, I hope. That's the feedback I get anyway.
Yeah.
How many times does it happen when you look at someone and think, you have it? Can you spot it straight away, or does it just not happen very often?
No, it's very difficult to do that. The good thing about people is they're full of surprises. So, yeah, there's always the odd person that you're like, well, from the beginning, you're probably like, yeah, they've got a good chance if they keep this up. But there's always a massive surprise, which is nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Well, the book, which Phil has got there, so this is called Life Under Fire, and what you've done in this book is kind of use all of your experience throughout your life and work to sort of help other people overcome anything. And do you think that is actually a realistic possibility? I
think people are capable of overcoming anything within their life, within their own sort of bubble, their own square, 1 metre, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you just need a little bit of, we all need a bit of coaching, do you know what I mean? You know, I wasn't born resilient. It built up over time, and I was fortunate enough to join the military, and that gave me and taught me levels of resilience through lessons I'd been taught or people I'd met.
Well, you joined, when you were 16, the Royal Marine Commandos, following in your father's footsteps. And so a military service, that was your career, that was your life, all the things that it made you, all of the things it taught you. But at the end of that, you did come out of it struggling.
Yeah, I did. I think, you know, I joined the military, I learned how to deal with that. I became, hopefully, quite good at what I, you know, chose to do. And then there was a moment where it sort of got on top of me. But I think, you know, yes, the military service was a form of catalyst, but a lot of it is to do with normal everyday life. Because I was trained to be a soldier. You know, I embraced that. I knew what that entailed. But what I wasn't ever taught to do was to deal with everyday life. You know, whether that was arguments, bills to pay, you know, people in your family getting sick, whatever it may be. You're not taught to deal with that, and I think that's what built up over time. And then obviously that with a military career, especially during the period that I was in, you know, when there was Iraq and Afghanistan going on, there was a lot going on, and for me personally, it just, you know, it took a bit of...
So, taking all of that, which is what you've done, you put it in the book then, how do we, you know, I mean, you've been a soldier, you do that show, which is so tough, and here we are, sitting on a sofa with our soft hands. So how do you possibly find the inner soldier in us? It's not about the fighting spirit, I'm assuming.
No, it's not outwardly, but it's about the fighting spirit within. It's about, you know, digging deep and finding resilience. For me, I was lucky enough to join the Royal Marines. They have a culture that they breed into everyone that joins and passes, and that is the Commando Spirit, and it's just made up of 4 pillars: courage, determination, unselfishness, and cheerfulness in the face of adversity. And that's basically just a code of conduct to live by. You know, have the courage to push yourself out of your comfort zone, have the determination to stick with it when times are tough, and they are tough.
Yeah.
Be unselfish, because look after the people around you. That's about being in society at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. You know, look after the people that you're living with around, you know, whether you're in London or wherever. And then the cheerfulness in the face of adversity is about finding the silver lining, have a positive attitude, you know, look for the positive in everything, not the negative, because it's that positive attitude that gets you out of the sticky situation.
I get all of that. I mean, that all makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
How easy is it to put that into reality and practice.
It takes time, yeah. You know, you've got
almost practice.
You have to practice it, yeah. You have to have a little bit, again, you have to have a bit of determination.
Yeah.
You know, whenever things get tough, it's not about giving up, it's about persevering.
We also get quite safe, I think, don't we? I think that's the other thing, is that we kind of go, well, this works, I feel good right now, so I'll just stay here, because this feels good. And that we need to push ourselves a bit more.
We do, yeah. It's like the courage to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You know, everything's coming back to normal, and people, you know, I've met people that are saying they're a little bit anxious about going back to work and things like that, and you know, rightly so, but we're all individual. You know, some people aren't bothered by that, but take things in small bite-sized chunks, you know, go for a journey on the tube out of rush hour, you know, see how that goes. Just gradually introduce yourself to something that you're anxious about, and then over time, you'll be less anxious about it.
I think one of the main messages in the book, which is crucial, I mean, it's part of the sort of ITV's charity campaigns, you know, is to talk. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with talking and asking for help.
No.
I mean, you know, you've been a soldier, and so even a soldier can ask for help.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I left the military, I had an issue with my identity and a sense of belonging, and I found myself on top of a cliff contemplating suicide, and I think what changed it for me, I had a moment where I discussed something with myself, and I said, right, you either do this or you make a change. But the change was to be honest with myself and to go out and find someone that I could talk to that would help me find a path that would work, you know, moving forward. So, and for me, yeah, talking about it was the key. It wasn't anything else. It was that initial talking, and it wasn't the first person that I met that worked either. You've got to persevere. Again, we go back to the determination.
And I imagine it's a work in process for you even now, is it?
Yes, I mean, we're all human.
Yeah.
Everything's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen to that. It's a great book, and with some really very helpful advice in it. And so thank you very much indeed for coming in. Life Under Fire is the book, How to Build Inner Strength and Thrive Under Pressure. And there you go, that's what it looks like.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.